switch to this scene for a moment while I'm just sorting some stuff out. This is getting very frustrating. Sorry, also it seems that today we're not going to have a dual output stream, so no Twitch stream. That is because everything is very last minute at the moment. And I'm just trying to do my best to get shit working. Rename. It is 0531. Open and save image. And then I can finally close my art thing. Then we can switch back to the actual programming screen. And now I need to set up the music. Sorry, yeah, it's gonna be a morning. You know what? I want to first. I need to double check. Nah, fuck it. We don't need to double check. I'm just gonna play this for a little bit. Alright. But yes, hope everyone's doing well today. I'm, as you can tell, doing horrendously. Yeah, this is one of those days where I woke up and I knew stuff was wrong. I've been doing a little too much thinking today as well, because over here in New Zealand there's been a new political announcement that is really something. And to avoid getting too political, we're not going to get into it right now. But yeah, and then there's also the whole, because I think I talked about it not yesterday but the day before, the whole Riot Games having their new thing come up. Was it the new skin? And there's just been so much negativity around that. Now, I stand by my statements that I made back then. I won't really dissuade from that. Do I think that it's excessively expensive? Yes. But do I think that, like, it makes sense? I also think yes. I don't think that they're not entitled to ask for that, right? Again, kind of pointing to the fact that it's okay to release things that only like 100 or 50 players are going to buy. I do not think that that's a bad thing. It's okay to have scarce inflated scarcity by cost. If there's a reason. There is a profit share, mind you, and it's something I didn't know about. However, I also have been informed that it's not actually that great, and the information available that I can see kind of represents that. I'm going to be honest, the fact that even Faker himself has come out and said that it seems very expensive is the only reason that there's concern to me. Otherwise, I do not see a problem with it still. I don't know if I would call it predatory. It depends on how it's marketed. Like, this is where, again, like, there's key terms that get thrown around so often in video games and in communities that it's kind of aggravating, because you get to a point where the term loses its meaning. Like, so predatory practices in video games are, like, for monetization, are systems that are more than incentivizing the player to spend amounts of money. Now, gacha games are this by nature, right? A gacha game is, you can earn the currency in game, but realistically, if you want to actually get the character guaranteed and you want to get them strong, you're going to have to flush out some cash. Is that wrong? We're not going to get into the morals of that, because that's difficult. So let's look at the actual factual side of this. So is it predatory to charge a large sum of money for an exclusive item? This is where it gets very confusing, because yes and no. It's predatory to entice the individual to think that it is necessary to do something. It is not necessary to buy the top end pass. There is only cosmetic benefits that you get from it. Sure, you get the full pass done for you, right? You get all fucking 100 levels immediately. Now, that is probably where I would argue that there's some predatory nature there. But other than that, no, I don't see an issue. I don't know, I feel like I'm definitely going to be sitting in the minority that don't really think that this is a bad thing. And I'm seeing like boycotting and shit going on, and I'm just like, why? Because, so one argument that's been put forward, and I think this is a legitimate argument to kind of discuss around, and I'm going to be discussing around this because this is something that's just frustrating to see over the last like 2-3 days. So one complaint that I saw was that this could lead to so they're pushing the boundaries to see what they can get away with, is the term that I see used all the time, which I'm not so sure I agree with that sentiment fully, but hey. Point is, so they're trying to push the boundaries of what they're trying to get away with, and trying to formulate the wording for this. There's a specific individual I want to use. Now, this is someone's opinion I very heavily respect, and I don't wholeheartedly disagree with them. Again, this is probably the most valid debate of this matter at the moment. So this is TB Scan, who does a lot of skin reviews, and I think he's a very interesting individual to listen to for design practices. So I do think I would recommend listening to him every once in a while if you get the opportunity. So I'm going to use this as a reference point for what I'm going to say next.
Does anyone need me to tell them not to buy the new commemorative Faker skin bundle? Riot is charging the equivalent of $500 goddamn dollars for the thing, and you can get a PS5 for that kind of money. You absolutely should not buy it. It's not worth it, it will never be worth it, and Riot are taking the absolute piss here. And don't anyone come at me with, oh, but they're doing revenue share, because first of all, they're not sharing enough, and second of all, it doesn't really matter who gets the money. This is an obscene amount to charge for an in-game cosmetic, and clearly, what Riot is trying to do here is push the boundaries of what they can get away with, either so that they can charge even more for big event skins in the future, or so they can pretend like they took feedback and listened to the community when they dropped the price down to $250 in some pathetic performance of compromise. As for the skin itself, it's a good skin. It has a lot of impressive effects. The color scheme is good. The multi-headed Hydra thing on the tails is an interesting use for Ahri's character design, and the level up mechanics are fun. But Riot are taking the absolute piss here. Do not validate this business strategy with your money. Do not buy this.
So that is his opinion, and I do think that there is some validity to this. Again, like, so yeah, the shorthand of what I got from that is to what Skyen's issue is, and again, this is interpretive explanation. So if I lose part of the message that he was trying to convey, I do apologize. But it's the idea that monetarily, this is a bad idea, and that what this entices is potentially, with the pushing of the boundary, it means that they can see where their wiggle room is. Do I think that that's an incorrect statement? No, I actually don't think that's fully incorrect. I think that's actually a very valid complaint on this matter. Is by doing this, now it raises the question, if this succeeds, will they do it again? Yes. Yes, they will. I don't think any of us are really that surprised by that statement, right? And that's what begs kind of the problem of it, right? So I said before that, like, this is what I see this as a bundle is targeted at basically that, like, 1 in 1,000, like, basically only 100 people are going to buy this, is what I would argue, right? Probably more than that, potentially, but, like, the idea that we'll just use with right is, so how do we know numbers, actually? Now I'm going to question this. League of Legends player count. So currently League of Legends retains a consistent figure of between 140 million to 160 million active monthly users, which is among one of the biggest players. Yeah, don't care about that. So we'll go with 150 million, right? So if we calculate to basically, we're talking, they're targeting a millionth of their population, their player population with this, which is enough to justify it. And this is where I would argue this is the decision that they're making, and I agree with that. I do think that it could be lowered potentially a little bit more to make it a little bit more valid and reasonable. However, yeah, no, if you've got a game that has 150 million players and you create a bundle targeted at, I don't even want to say like a millionth, because that's even, like, yeah, we'll just keep with the millionth sort of example. So it's 150 users that buy $500. How much does that calculate out to? So that's 150 simply times 500. That's 75,000 money that they've made back. That pays for an entire, like, employee's paycheck. And probably then some, because let's be honest, I think the numbers were like 40,000 per annual in America for some of this stuff, probably less. So arguably this pays for like 1-2 annual, like a 1-2 of their staff annual's paycheck, just outright. Now, I know that that's not exactly how this stuff works, but this is a good, valid way of looking at it. Now, there's also an argument to be made that there could be an inverse looking of it only takes 150 players to pay that much money. That's not great, right? But when we're in an era where actual predatory practices are done, I would argue this isn't predatory. I do not think it's valid to give that criticism towards it. And I think people that are saying it is predatory are is people that just kind of want to jump on the bandwagon of hating something. Because I don't think people actually know what they're hating on anymore with things. Is this a valid complaint, I feel, to make? Hating something? Hell yeah. Yeah, like, it's just... It's easier to hate on a thing, especially with, like, this is... I put a tweet out. Was it this morning or last night? No, it was this morning, right? Saying, like, can I just say that I feel bad for Riot having to deal with such entitled player base? And it's genuinely what I thought. And I stand by this. It's like, the amount of times I see Riot try and do something, and I'm not going to say it was good or bad, but they try and do something and it gets fucking immediately blasted by its community with such negativity that it folds back, and like I feel so bad for them that it feels like they can't even innovate at some moments, right? I have no zero context on what you're talking about. The other day I was talking about this. It was the new skin stuff coming out in League of Legends. There's a skin that's coming out that the bundle it's a part of is $500 US, roughly. And it's the only way to acquire that skin. Okay, it's a cosmetic. Yeah. I have to stress, it is purely cosmetic. There is no actual benefits of getting it at all. And it's for possibly one of the most popular characters in the game, by the way. I should also mention that. As for Ahri, Ahri is a character I think that transcends League of Legends. Like just the player base. For popularity. Right, let's just quickly pull up a brief image of her. I mean, the fact is she's like one of the more prevalent KDA people as well, but God, my computer is dying from pulling up this many fucking tabs. I'm just going to have to close that. None of that is essential, so I can close that. Alright. But yeah, so this is Ahri. I feel like everyone knows Ahri. Everyone knows Ahri in and out of League of Legends. I see nothing wrong with joining a game and saying, I'm rich, fuck you. Yeah, well, like, that's the thing, right? Is... So the joke that's going around is, well, not even a joke. So there's a boycott now going on in the community to try and ban Ahri permanently in every game you can. Oh, is she fluffy? Yeah, she's fucking gorgeous. So this is actually the skin here, by the way. Right? So this is the, I think this is like a $100-something version of it. This is the $500 skin. And so I want to stress, you can get this skin for a lot less than the $500. You know what you get for paying the $500? You get a fact that when you destroy a tower, it will put Faker, the person that this is all based around, his signature underneath where the tower was destroyed. And it gives you a special emote in-game that you can do. That is what the signature collection is. The signature immortalized legend collection. That is all that you get. You can get the skin for less than 500. You can get the skin for 200 and something. I do want to say though, Pretzel, this does look very nice in game. One of the coolest aspects of this is that in game, the tails are actually kind of like independent Hydra fox heads. So that's one aspect of it that I will actually give it credit. It's got a lot of cool design ideas behind it. It's got a lot of cool, interesting things. I showcased it the other day, but I could showcase it again if you give me a moment. But yeah, so you are basically paying a significant premium for very mild changes. But I wouldn't pay 500 RP for that. That's fine. Don't. Again, I've stressed this all the way through. This is marketed at like maybe 100, like a millionth of the player base. So 150 players. That's fine. It's okay to have premium items in a game. They're optional. They're non-essential. The point of it is, it's kind of like Supreme. This is where I am actually going to use the example. You're not buying a shirt, you're buying a Supreme shirt. You're not buying this item, you're buying a Supreme item. You're not buying a skin, you're buying the Immortal Collection skin. Right? Stuff like this isn't made for everyone. Exactly! Like, that's the point I'm trying to make with this. Is it's not made for everyone. It's a nice looking skin. Am I going to get it? Fuck no. Right? There's no way in hell I'm getting that skin. But am I going to say that they're wrong for the stuff, right? Like, so again, I'll pull up the fucking video of it real quick. So this is basically the only stuff you get unique to the signature version. Let me just finish loading the stuff. So here's the price down here, is it's almost 60,000 RP, which is roughly about 450, 500 US dollars. Also, you get some unique chromas. So you get this signature here, and then you get this. You're allowed to do that emote in game. It's unique only on that character. Otherwise, this is the rest of the skin the rest of the time. It has a bunch of unique things that are only to the skin, so like unique UI, unique all of that. I don't see the issue with doing this idea. I just see the issue with the community basically going, oh, well, we have to say it's wrong because we want to hate. Can I see the OG skin? Yeah, I can pull up the OG skin in a sec. And then this is the very inexpensive version. This one's about the same price as what's called an ultimate skin, I believe. Off the top of my head. Which, it has a bunch of unique stuff. I will admit this one's probably a bit not worth its price range comparative to other skins of its thing. Having that skin being dog shit at Ari though, that is the funniest part. I will say that is probably true. Undoubtedly there's going to be at least one person that would buy this, and it is actually terrible at Ari. But it's again, like this is the argument, and I hate that this is the thing that like I feel like I have to keep stressing. This is clearly not made for everyone, these skins. And that's okay. So let's look at Ari Can I just look at base skin spotlight? Would that give me what I'm looking for? Is that just gonna... Is that gonna be all the fucking different skins? Nah. I mean, we kind of saw it here, right? Like, this is what the model looks like in game. Either way, it looks sick. Can't afford it, lol. But to each their own. Exactly, right? Like, this is that I wish more people had that opinion. Like, why try and boycott something just because you can't afford it? I'm fine with a company making a premium item that only a few people are going to buy. Is because, again, do I need to pull out the calculator again and point out that only if only 150 people buy this, it pays for like 2 people's salaries for an entire year? Because I will pull the calculator out again. Which fully justifies the time and energy put on working on it, and with the fact that, yes, the revenue share is not that much, there is still a revenue share with Faker. But yeah, so this is what she looks like in game normally, just roughly speaking. I'm not going to get a full thing for it easily, because otherwise I'm going to have to start digging. I don't want to. Do I like there is other skins I probably of hers that I like more. I mean, I still love KDA's visual style. I think that they nailed it with a lot of Ari's design in that. But yeah, like, wait, is $500 kind of, I see what you mean, yeah. I don't know, it's overall very, very stupid arguments being made by people that I feel like don't actually know what they're complaining about and are just willing to hop on the bandwagon to hate on Riot as per usual, because that's the thing to do. Like, do I think that the hate around, like, Freak, right? Freak, so there was the hatred towards the guy that's in charge of a lot of the design direction of League of Legends, Freak. He fucked up a few times with his communication with the player base. I like the Elderwood skins, absolutely favorite skin group. See, and that's the thing, right? I would not say that they're my favorite, but I do agree that they're really nice. I think, like, the Hecarim one's really, really fucking cool. The Ari one's definitely a nice one. The LeBlanc one's not too bad. Like, I could go through them, and it's just... Yeah, no, it's... Do you think people would more or less be more or less mad if it were a $500 DLC? I would say... See, now that's an interesting one, right? Because I would argue depends on what the DLC is, right? Reminded me of WoW? Yeah, no, like, I agree, right? So again, this is kind of the point that I want to make with this, is that, like, if it's a $500 cosmetic DLC, then I could point at so many games that are that, right? That, like, if you totalize a bunch of their DLCs together, yeah, no, it equals that, and they don't actually give that many cosmetics. However, if it gave a gameplay difference, so this is where I will complain at, like, the Persona 3 Reload. Reload has a bunch of DLCs that are gameplay changing, because they give you personas that are unique to only the DLCs. This is when we come to an argument of, if this $500 skin gave you a character that you would not own otherwise, yes, I think it is a very valid complaint. But it doesn't. A $500 skin gives you a signature and a special in-game emote. Now, I do think there is a valid criticism as well for the fact that, like, some people are going, oh, well, they cut all of the, like, they were cutting a bunch of fat in terms of they got rid of a lot of staff, they got rid of their, like, indie production company that they had that did a bunch of little side games, stuff like that, and yeah, no, you've got that, and then you've got them basically being money hungry in this. Yeah, it's a difficult one, because again, I don't like defending big corporations. I want to stress this. I very much hate on defending big corporations as much as I can. But I will defend this one somewhat. Sunbreak, the biggest Switch game ever, which is 600 hours. Yeah, this is the thing, right, is we could start getting into the concept of value for money, right? So money is the ultimate goal of every company, and I think Riot is further ahead with their main product being free to play. Yeah, right. Again, this is where we kind of come back to the looping point of, do you need the skin? No. To play the game, you need no money. You never need to put money into League of Legends, and you could play the game happily. Fuck it, you can get skins now without putting money into the game. Something that wasn't even the case like 7 years ago. Whereas I could point at any gacha game that is free to play and I could complain about them having predatory monetization, because while they're free to play, you pretty much have to put money in to be able to keep up with a lot of them. I give credit to Hoyoverse for not having that be the case most of the time. And I will still always praise, I don't know what it's like nowadays, but I will praise Azure Lane from back when I played it for being a game that I put, I think, like $5 into at one point to buy a skin. Because you never had to put money in. Their monetization was fucking stellar. Oh, I see what's happened. Give me a second. That's why the music's breaking. It's because I switched accounts while it's been playing, so it's breaking. CSGO is gacha. Well, it's because that's the thing, right? Is like, arguably speaking, is there any tactical advantage over skins? I think there's like 1 or 2 skins where that's potentially an argument, but like for the most part, almost all of the visual aspects of it are independent of gameplay. But yes, it is a gacha system. I will not deny that. So it's an interesting debate topic that like I could quite easily go further in with this, right? Is if you're colorblind. True, I guess. But it's again, so I want to reiterate some core points. I do not like defending large-scale companies because I do think that at the end of the day, a company is the company is incentivized to make money. When it is stock trading, it is essential for a company to make money. And I think that is a valid complaint to put against it, saying you want to make money. So why should I listen to you? And that's always what you should say. However, a company needs to make money. If they're going to do something that will make them enough money to justify it, it then needs to also have the situation, and this is the problem at the moment, of it needs to not have enough outrage against it to therefore unjustify it because it will have revenue deficits in other areas. So this is the problem that I see at the moment. They're not going to probably go quite through with this, or if they do, then I give them credit. But yeah. Also, I'm probably not going to put any other music on. I just really felt like listening to Outer Wilds soundtrack today. That's why I'm putting it on. Like, I've desperately been wanting to listen to it again, and I heard one of the songs the other day, and I really needed to. Because it's just fucking phenomenal music. But yeah, it's, I don't know. Like, this is something that I think, because I sit in that unique perspective of, I see it from a game dev perspective, I see it from a company perspective, and I see it from a player perspective. And this is where I want to, again, kind of reiterate. So I've literally, since the stream started, this has been the topic, and it's just such a frustrating topic to me. Like, I'm probably not going to switch off of it easily, because it's going to save me from talking about New Zealand government stupid decisions. Good lord, that's a fucking rant and a half, but I'm going to avoid that. But what's the argument? Which one? Do you mean the argument against the governmentary stuff, or the stuff with Riot? Because the argument is simply, I hate that the League of Legends player base is such an entitled lot of shitheads, basically. Because they look at this premium item and with like very much specific value to it, and say, where I can't afford it. So I can sum this up in one message. Okay, I will say, you can sum up just about any argument in one message. That's not the point. The point is to discuss the aspects of it. That's what I'm going through and doing right now, is I'm going through in an analytical way to see why this is the case and inform accordingly. It's always how I've been for this sort of stuff. And it's useful because it means that you can actually make your own decision. Because this is what I want to stress. I'm not telling you what to think. I'm telling you how I think, and I'm telling you how I got to that point. And I'm telling you the information that would be useful for that. If you may not think it's useful, that's fine. That's again kind of the point, right? Then don't find it useful. I'm very passionately wanting to talk about this subject. Because I find it a very important topic to talk about, because this happens a lot. Because then you've also got, as a comparison point, Star Citizen, I believe is the name of it, is the scam project that has reached, I think it's $700 million, and it's yet to produce an actual game. AKA critical thinking? Yes. Right? Like, this is the thing, is we're in an era where critical thinking is lacking. So I would prefer to give you all of the thoughts and tools towards it. So let's have a little look at this. Riot released a skin for $200, which people were happy about. Then they released the same one with minor changes for $500, and people are upset that the same product is priced differently. Not quite. They're releasing all of these skins at once. So, like, that's the point, right? Is like, none of these skins are actually available to the public yet. So we're all going off of just discussion and theory point, and that's kind of where I'm like complaining, is because no one's actually, no one's actually using critical thinking towards this. They're just following the trend of haha, hate on Riot because it's funny. Do I think it is wrong to make money as a company? No. Do I think I will buy this product? No. Do I think it's overpriced? Yes. Do I understand why it is priced at what it is? Yes. Do I think that it is wrong to price it at that? As a consumer, I don't like it because I can't afford it. As a developer, I have the painful need to eat, so I understand why you might price it like that. As a company that wants to make money, I understand why you would want to price it as high as possible. Because I bet you there was an entire team that sat down and did the number crunching to see what could be justifiable for this price. Eating is overrated. Just eat the code. I'm gonna do the plankton and just literally eat the light, right? Painful need to eat, I get that. Yeah, and that's the thing, right? So at the end of the day, especially when you've got a free-to-play game that makes billions of dollars, it's okay for them to try and make another billion as long as it doesn't actually impact the players. I don't know, am I... Like, this is what I can't understand with this, is that realistically this does not affect the majority of players. I would prefer to hear... Okay, tell you what, I will stand by this statement here. If they are willing to confirm to me that they are going to make more skins and not just the same amount of skins but more pricing, then I do not mind this. Because if making only a few more extra skins at an overpriced level means that they can just make more skins overall, I am 100% down for that. And I do not think it's valid to complain on that. The only way this might affect you is if you happen to see it in game once. Exactly, right? And this comes to that whole the TFT argument. There's a TFT argument about there's the animations called finishers, where if you're a specific chibi character and you deal the final damage to a player, you can get a finisher animation, and both you and the player dying will see this animation. Now, a lot of them are really fucking cool, I want to stress. They're like, some of them are hysterical, and there is a complaint going around of people going, I do not like seeing this because it tilts me more. Now, I agree with the head of design, Mortdog, on this, is that if your mental is so low that you cannot handle seeing this animation, then you maybe need to take a break from the game. Maybe you need to do something like else, and maybe you need to look externally as to why that is the case. Because there are some things that are just out of your control, and you're taking personal offense to something that is out of your control and out of your space of things that you can even interact with. So all you're doing is winding yourself up. I died and this person has more money than me, so I hate the game. Honestly, yeah. That is a very valid way of surmising what I just said. That's huge when a game dev says not to play their game. Yeah, like, this is the thing, right? Is we're now in an era where burnout is a pandemic, and it is getting understood better and better, except by the general populace. So in game development, burnout is a big problem because burnout happens constantly. Game development is a form of media that is expanding faster than just about any other forms of media have in the past. So to keep up with this, there is a lot more crunch than there has been with movies. Not saying movies don't have burnout or the people that work on them, but I'm just using as an example point, video games have only been around for like 50 years. So we need to keep that in mind. If it's only been around for 50 years, where some of these have been around for a lot fucking longer and have a way wider acceptance rating, like, gaming's only really been accepted in the last like 30-ish years, right? Game dev is a constant stretch of burnout and innovation. Yes, I think that's a very valid way of looking at it. So with that being the case, we kind of have come to understand burnout well on the game dev side. Because burnout especially is when you... So burnout is the phenomenon when you stop being able to value what you're doing. That you don't see the value in what you're doing. What, like, this game, right? I could keep working on it. If I'm burnt out, I would sit there and genuinely think, what's the point? And I've had moments like this. I've had a lot of moments like this over the last even few months, where I've dipped into burnout for a bit. And it's really bad. And it especially happens when the amount of things you cannot control far exceed the things that you can control. And all you're seeing is those things you cannot control, and you just start feeling more and more apathetic towards it. I can acknowledge this completely. I can think about this, but it doesn't mean that in the moment I'm going to be able to utilize that to fight against this feeling of burnout. Now, why does this all matter? Why have I gone through this big discussion of what burnout is? Because players get burnout. Players will play a game over and over and over in an excessive amount, especially like TFT, League of Legends, these games, and in an almost addictive style because they enjoy certain things, but they don't realize what it's actually doing to their mental. And this is why, like, I hate playing those games, because I would play ARAM from time to time. This was months ago. I haven't played actual League in fucking forever. I played the arena mode, that's fun. But what I would do in that is, like, I saw someone toxic and I would just go like, hey, how's your day? And most of the time I actually got some pleasantry back. Like, I would say 60% of the time. And I'm in Oceania. We're notoriously well known for our toxicity. But the fact is that the rest of the time, when I wouldn't get the positivity back, I would get, genuinely, I would say, hey, maybe as a suggestion, don't have to listen to this, take a step back from the game after this game, maybe go outside and have a little walk. Clear your head. And I would get told things that I cannot repeat on YouTube. Which is just kind of disappointing to me to see that, like, you can't have that. Now, I understand that there's an aspect that they probably considered it sarcastic and all that, and I do feel bad for that. This is why I kind of stopped doing it in the end and stopped playing that kind of in general environment, because it would just be filled with so much toxicity that it would affect me. How dare you be right? Yeah, that's the thing. I mean, I've talked about this before. So where I live, I'm very blessed where I'm living at the moment. I can go and walk on a beach in less than a minute. And there are some weeks I am there every night before I go to bed because I just need to think. Riot Games in a nutshell. Have a nice day. Fuck you. Yeah, it's not inaccurate. But it's just like, it's because, so there was an example made by Dr. K, I think it is his name. Healthy Gamer GG, I think it is, the channel. Where, like, so for a long time, humans were nomadic and hunter-orientated, hunter-gatherer. So during that time, what would happen is if you went hunting with someone else and they fucked up during the hunting, and you're like, oh my god, this person is the stupidest fucking person ever. They fucked up the trap, and we almost lost. We lost some food because of that. We managed to get some other stuff. He's a fucking moron. You have like 3 to 5 hours, potentially even 7 hours, walking back to your village to just process this, to get through this. And then when you're there, you're just like, you know what? They fucked up this time. Maybe I teach them how to do it better next time, or maybe I take someone else and get over it. Whatever, I'm over it. Point is, we're in an era where that doesn't happen, where people are bombarded by information every fucking minute of the day. And people don't, because of this as well, you've got like the doom scrolling and everything like that, people don't get up and walk anymore. So I find it very important to try and take like half an hour to an hour every day to try and detox kind of from everything, to go walk and just kind of let my brain sort through the bad stuff so I can feel better. And I'm not going to say that works for everyone, but I will say that it is definitely something that I've seen more value in having done it more and more. And I know that it has helped other people as well. And yeah, like I used to walk around my house when I wouldn't go outside for walks, and it would still help because it's just me kind of sorting through my thoughts, verbalizing them as well. Like I love talking outwardly when I'm doing my internal thoughts because it helps me think. So yeah, I do find it very, very silly that basically what is happening is people are just internalizing their problems too much and never giving themselves an actual moment to think about these problems, think them through and process them. This is where a lot of, I think, frustration and toxicity come from in a lot of games, is people that are just not willing to kind of exhale, basically. Touch grass is the main one that I know exists for that that comment. What is the button for assists again? I do want to double check that. Touch grass without the grass. Like, it's genuinely just, in short, go outside. Enjoy not being near your computer for a bit. It's a lot better than you fucking think it is, people. Highly recommend it. It's a very enjoyable time. You read that slightly wrong? Touch grass without the GR? Oh, no, sorry. Touch ass. Man, that was a solid hour-long rant, and I'm still, like, rearing to go if I need to. That was fun. I enjoyed that. I'm sure many people didn't. And look, I understand those sorts of discussions are not for everyone, but I've made the comment before. There's a reason I got a degree in education, right? Like, I'm not gonna deny in the slightest there is a level of I think like a teacher to an extent. So yeah, I still see the complaint I was making the other day about the slash being way too short. So I might do something about that. I'm thinking I might try and make a kind of a default for slashes and use it as a foundation point for a lot of the designs that we've got. Because I do think overall there is a lot of room for improvement on how some of this is done. I'm wondering what the best program is for that, because I still want to keep the pixel art style, but I'm wondering if something like Photoshop or something of those ilk, where there's a little bit more like definable editable nature might be better. I don't know how easy it would be to kind of do editing like that in Photoshop. I'm gonna sneeze again, good lord. No? No, it's gonna go, okay. God damn it. I hate that feeling. Y'all know the feeling, right? The feeling where you know the sneeze is coming, you prepare for it, and then it just fucks off. I do not have anywhere near enough damage to survive what I'm doing right now. I have no idea what the squiggly lines mean. Honestly, sure. Skill issue, you know. Fair. I've actually been really getting further along with my Japanese relearning. That's been fun. Japanese is a fucking weird language sometimes. If I can get the enemies close, I can double hit them basically, because the wave and the attack are two separate attack things. Got the reflection now. Reflection's actually really good with this kind of weapon. Lots of pierce and hit. Means lots of AoE killing. I do need more health though. Just gonna increase my max health. Is Kimcho taking on some of the damage from the shield? No. That was just a weird situation there. Okay. We need to also like deal with Helpful Rambit at some point, because Helpful Rambit is a lot of like hard-coded magic numbers. Which is never good to be doing in your programming. Okay. But I'm really liking the feel of this character. Aura's doing well. I do need some healing though. I was tempted to pick up the Infernal Contract earlier. Maybe I'll... That actually should be a lot of value at this stage. Especially alongside Thing. If I can get Moth Holocure. So we either go for Infernal Contract or... Satanic Resilience, right? At this point? Satanic Resilience would be insane. I need a way out. Ooh, yo, 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 yo. You know what I could do with gushing? Gushing over magical girls, you say? Because it should help group enemies up for me. So it'll help with overall kiting. I love it when I... Fucking hell. God God damn it, why am I not getting like any of the fucking healing stuff right now? Holy shit, the rabbits are strong enough that they don't die to the EX. That is concerning. I need healing badly. I need to fix the stuff with the EX, the experience bar, because it looks like the experience doesn't always like pick up or get counted or something. Yeah, no, it hasn't been counting for ages. There's Satanic Resilience. There we go. Now we have healing. But yeah, like immediately after a level up and for some period of time, it doesn't seem like I'm actually getting the experience. So I might need to do something about that. But then it just bursts up real quickly because I think that's when it's allowing it. Yeah, so slimes still die to the EX, but the bunnies do not. Damn, these bunnies fucking hard to kill. We should be fine from here on though, because like as long as I get some more upgrades on what we've already got, then I don't see a problem. That didn't visually turn up, did it? Or that was a delay. Bunnies are Giga Chads. They do feel like it. Fucking Usagi-san really fucking my shit up. To be fair, they actually have armor, baseline, and they have slightly better scaling than the slimes from memory. In terms of defensive stats. Do I want Infernal Contract as well? Just as an emergency buffer point, or do I want to try and go for something more scaly orientated? No, probably Infernal Contract. You've made them too powerful. What do you mean? Usagi-san should be powerful. To be fair, again, do want to remind, this game is supposed to be a speed game. You're supposed to kill stuff fast, so I think at the moment, yeah, I do think that the scaling may be a little bit high baseline. I do think their scaling long term's fine. I think the main improvement that needs to be made at this stage is the area that a weapon will... Holy shit, I took so much damage then. Wait, holy shit, I take so much damage. What the fuck? Okay, damage may be scaling really high. To be fair, okay, again, so to reiterate what I was trying to say though. When we look at this game, we have to keep in mind that what's missing is bosses. So bosses turn up at specified kill amounts, and what they do is they you have to kill so many bosses to beat the run. At this point in time, 10 minutes is probably what I'm aiming for overall. So this should be where you're at when you're at your end game. I like the idea of grown woman being overrun by thousands of rabbits. It's kind of funny. But yeah, so we should be a lot further along with our experience. So that's why I'm gonna try and figure out why the experience is kind of not getting given to the player at certain moments. But yeah, also the hand slightly gliding is fucking hysterical. fact that we're only level, well, not even level 30 is a concern to me. And some of the things are not working. Yeah, that's not too surprising. Because, like, again, I want to reiterate the strength of this character is supposed to be that they scale. Like, they're very strong the longer you fight. Because they have a weapon that goes AoE, they have additional experience gain than most other characters, and they have access to the EX more regularly. So by having more experience, what you're supposed to do is be able to get through all of the gear eventually and then get to the stat upgrades. So you can scale more aggressively and counteract the scaling of the enemies. So what I'm actually more seeing right now is a problem with overall damage output. So there's potentially that's either a problem with the tankiness of the enemy or the lack of damage of the player. And experience it doesn't seem consistently being given. And it's because, like, yeah, again, when I do get experience, I get a shitload really quickly. So I'm wondering if something's wrong with the experience system in the background, so I might have a look through that. So this is what it is now, right? Wait, what? There's nothing duck related, you know, you've got a point. I sort of see a problem here. Trying to figure out why I've done this. Wait, what? anyone's curious. Ooh, I might have to have a look at that later. That's gonna be an interesting one. That is a wild time. I wonder what that's gonna mean towards the for the Reds in the election cycle, right? Because it begs the question of, oh god, sorry, cats. Because isn't he still their front runner? For the Republicans, right? I'm pretty sure. Here in the UK, the party colours are reversed. I mean, what is it? Over here... no, I don't want to get into it because I'm going to start thinking about the fucking shite from everything. Can I just... I'm going to give a short thing, kind of just getting rid of a bit of, like, built-up hatred at the moment. Fucking... So... In short, New Zealand's just had our an announcement of kind of our next budget from the government. There is a lot of decisions in that I cannot believe were the decisions that they thought were the correct ones. Like, it's clear what they're trying to do is they're trying to at least meet the expectations of them getting into the parliament. Right, like that specific party becoming head, but like, holy shit, okay, I cannot get over the decisions being made and how they've decided this is to be this. So shorthand is they're reducing taxation to the consumer, like overall to the average person, so theoretically everyone's going to make more money. Now, mind you, the kind of money we're talking about is pensioners will get an additional $5 a week. Wow, incredible. The average household will probably see a difference of like $40, $50 a week. Now, that is actually quite a bit in New Zealand, right? Keep in mind that our dollar is really terrible. However, this is at the expense of so many things and further putting our country into debt. So yeah, no, it was not. It's not a good sign. They only give tax breaks to the wealthy over here. That's the problem. Is this? So this this party that's kind of discussing this, they are very much wealth focused, and the problem is that they keep making. Every time they get in, they keep making these short-term monetary, like, oh, we'll take a bit of a loss, we'll get a long-term gain. And they never work. They always, because the worst part is, right, is in their literal action plan, it states, for this to work, nothing needs to go wrong. Nothing out of the expected needs to occur. So what I'm hearing is, if something that does unexpectedly happen, which happens like every fucking year at the moment, happens, it's fucked. So good on them. I hate it. I'm gonna leave it at that. I'm gonna leave it at that. That is how much I'm gonna vent on it, because it is just such a incredibly stupid idea. So, yeah, no, just shorthand of it, think that if something like COVID happens again, then New Zealand's gonna crash even harder than it already is. And to give an idea, there's already like 2-3 things that are happening in New Zealand that we're having to deal with. Ours is based entirely on the military industry complex. Our spending is out of... Yeah. It's really frustrating looking at a lot of these sorts of things. Typically, this is where like a lot of heated discussion comes in. A lot of people think very, very intensely about these things. And I do not blame them, right? Like, this is a very valid thing to be up in arms about. Keeping in mind, and I want to stress this, these sorts of decisions are made by experts. They are made by people that kind of do know what they're talking about, and it's a lot of like weighing back and forth of what is the thing, right? But at the end of the day, does those changes fix the correct things, right? Like, America has systemically bad issues that it could solve by just siphoning a fraction of its military spending. Because its military spending is like fucking insane. I think one of the numbers I heard at one point was like, it was double-digit billion, right? Let's see, America military budget. Let's see, 820 billion is the current one. Holy shit. Like, to kind of put that into perspective, New Zealand budget. That's going to be the big discussion at the moment. I'm pretty sure I want to double check this stat though. Okay, so trying to find the fucking total budget for New Zealand right now. Because I'm pretty sure that we're not even 1% of that is our total budget. Yeah, here you go. Our operating allowance is 3.2 billion per annum. So using the fiscal year one that I've got here of 825 billion in total funding, we are 0.4% of that budget ish. 0.4% of that budget for just military spending alone in the US. I get why. No, actually, this is the thing. So, population-wise, it is not that much of a thing. So, I will admit New Zealand's a far smaller population than America, but not by that much. So, roughly speaking, the population is 5.1 million as of 2 years ago, which was when we last did our consensus. So if I get US population is 333 mil. So we are like 7% of the population of the total United States. So I've just given you two figures now to work with. 7% and 0.5. Fucking Christ. Wow, okay. That's insane. And again, that's just for military spending alone, which I know is far and above the highest expenditure, and like nothing else comes close in US, but hey. I know, I saw the question. I saw that question, Fritzel. That was great. What's 7%? That was good. No, it is definitely a frustrating experience looking at some of these things. It's worse because you have like such a fucking like. I highly recommend if you do have the free time. It's only like you only need to see like a minute or two at most of the thing, but just look at the fucking financial minister and how fucking she does not seem right. No politician seems right, but she does not seem right. What question? Nice. Good damn it. Got No, I know what the question was. I saw it. I don't think it even... I think you managed to delete it fast enough that it didn't even pop up on stream. So you're fine. No evidence. No, I don't want to get too... So I don't want to get too political here. I've literally been yelling for like an hour and a half about like all sorts of fucking shite now. It's something that I feel like everyone gets passionate about in the right circumstances. And I'm not saying you're not entitled. Like, everyone's entitled to being passionate about the political things to an extent. I mean, I could talk about how there is basically a fucking peaceful, yeah, I guess that's the wording for it. Peaceful protest at the moment in Wellington, where they are the Maori are very, very unhappy with the government at the moment. And it's not even just the, like, I think they started the camp out before the financial thing had been released because of other stuff. And they're like, well, we're gonna protest this shit as well. Oh, it's so funny. New Zealand's a fucking wild place sometimes. When shit goes wild here, it goes wild, and it's so fun. I actually do hope that something comes of this, because like fucking, as much as I think he's a dickhead, Christopher Hipkins, which is one of the party leaders for the opposing sort of party faction, Yeah, he just is like, this is stupid. I wasn't aware of this. What is this fucking music? What do you mean? This is Outer Wilds, one of the fucking best indie games that has ever been made. I even have a playthrough on my channel. It's one of the like first series that I did that actually got like traction. And I do want to go back to that game because I haven't done the DLC for it. Is it Eyes of something? Eyes of the Universe? Dun, 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 dun. Fucking love this game. It went supersonic there. I don't think I noticed, so I don't know. So either my brain is completely fried by political and like fucking other stupid talk, or might not be on my end. Don't know. Can't speak to it. Sorry, my brain's kind of doing things. No, I said I'm listening to this music today. And I ain't changing. I really want to listen to the Outer Wilds OST. I don't care if it's even copyright or shit. Like, I genuinely just really badly wanted to listen to this. Can petition me all you fucking want. So it's definitely not something there. So it's target is player. Ass needs the right to vote. God damn it. Why do I still have this as an alarm? Why do I not have this as just a time source thing? So at the moment it's what, every 20 fucking frames? Okay, so I'll just make it like every half second and it's slightly more consistent. So I said, what was it, a half second? Yeah. Dun, 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 dun. I'm completely like zoning at this point. This fucking music is so good. No, I need array, push, time source, array, time source pause array, and then T collection. But first we're also going to time source dot T collection. This needs to not just be that, it needs to be self. It needs to have a self pointer, otherwise it's not going to work. And then we delete that, and we delete this. I think that's like one of the only alarms left in the game. The only other one is the one probably for collection on Rambit, which does beg the question, maybe we should make the collection one here malleable. Oh, so we can like make a function around it. Oh, that was the end of the universe. I'm pretty sure that was what that noise was. I feel like this is supposed to be up the top here, right? I need to double check. So, yeah, no, that'll be correct is the valuing. So this needs to go up here. And then this needs to have the equal 0 here. Okay, I want to see how this works in game. We're gonna have to switch characters from someone from Aura, because in case of things related to Aura being the case. No, we need to keep with Aura, actually, because we need to ensure control environment. Okay. Oh, I fucked something up with that time source. What did I fuck up? Ew. Units. No, that is correct. I remember there being a Yu-Gi-Oh character. How'd that guy go? He's okay. He's got a couple of bugs still with him though that I need to fix. I honestly need to do a rebalance of his kit as well, because he is incredibly weak. Like, his potential is very high, but his floor is so low that it's not worth playing, and that's not good. So I want to add a little bit more to him to improve him. Can I see how he works? I mean, the shorthand is that his normal attack is a slash, and it does like one of 4 effects. And then his passive is really garbage. Okay, so line 7. Here's the idea more cards. No, that's actually the exact opposite of the problem with him. He's already got too much. Oh, is this supposed to just be a number? Oh, it is. It's not an array. That's what was wrong. Okay. No, it's because, what is it? His passive goes in one of 3 things. One is a res effect, one is a little knockback Karibo, and one is a barrier against a damage instance. And overall, he's just weak as shit. As well as keeping in mind, he's not all Yu-Gi-Oh related. He's just got a few Yu-Gi-Oh things going for him. Okay, so I seem to be able to generate the experience effectively. Because you like, this is where I kind of point at, like, one of the problems with creating diverse characters like that is you have to balance around all of the things that they can do, which potentially is too much. The more a character does, the weaker that they have to be because of how much they do. So this is why Jack of all trades characters typically are weaker than normal. Otherwise they become too strong too quickly, because then if a character that is a jack of all trades can beat a character that is specified in a specific field at that specific field, or be equal to them, then it means that they're just better because they can do other things as well. Okay, so that was working, but you're asking about Mary, which In short, I just need to make sure I don't use his ult before I get his passive. Otherwise it breaks. So yeah, I can block 2 instances. He stuns with attack occasionally. Has a chance to execute, or has a chance to heal, or has a chance to spawn that little dude. Honestly, the stun effect is actually by far his best weapon effect. But like, again, this is kind of where I point out how bad he is. Where's the Karibo? It's a random thing. Remember what I said? It's every like 40 something seconds he gets either the Mirror Shield, the Karibo, or the Monster Reborn. I happen to roll the Mirror Shield twice now. And yeah, that's why I needed to not press that button. Fuck. Again, Pretzel, I have to say, the only thing that's definitely Yu-Gi-Oh references is the item and the dragon thingy that it sends out. Those are the only 2 things that were ever intended to be Yu-Gi-Oh references. Everything else is not. The stun, the execute, and the heal are not even intended to be references towards that. They're more references towards the individual, because the individual is fairly well known for writing a diverse number of stories that have span a lot of fucking things and are all over the place and wild for that. Just a sec. And that's the point of him. The sound is funny. Yeah, but the sound's also probably not in a realm of thing I can just yoink without it being a problem. I can see at some point, but hey. Contrary to that argument, memes. Yeah, that's fair. I mean, like, that's an argument, right? It's like I could lean more heavily into that, but that's the difficulty, is that that's... If the VTuber was more... If that was a more integral part to who they were, then I would be willing to lean more towards it. But again, because of my design philosophy, it is to try and incorporate as much about them as well. Incorporate their lore, their personality, all sorts, right? That's why with Monarch, there is things that are related to her backstory that she has, which is a meme and a half, or memed about, I should say. And then there is the... See, I don't know if I can try and find the doc. Here we are, United Design List. Pretty sure it's in here. It's kind of funny. Here we go. So with Monarch, we have Butterfly Blade, which is orientated towards her backstory. We have Timeline Binding, which is again orientated towards her backstory. We have She Ego, which is a meme related to her. That's fucking something else. We have Weaponized Scuff, which is also a meme. And then we have Butterfly Effect, which is more related to her lore. So again, like, my design philosophy is really weird, and it's hard to keep track of. That's why I kind of explain it. Because even though I know that's kind of like ruining your joke, it is something that I still think is necessary to kind of point at. gotta go get something to eat. You know, I'm probably gonna only go for 2 hours today anyway, so yeah. Be back probably. Nah, it's all good. But yeah, so like with Rin, I mean, I'm gonna be honest, I don't actually know if Rin has lore. Well, no, correction, I know Rin has lore, which is where the Heart of a Prince joke is. That's what that is. But realistically speaking, that's kind of the point of Rin though, as well, as Rin doesn't really... The backstory of Rin is loose enough and weak enough that it doesn't matter, and Rin can just be Rin, and that's fun. Right? The fact that, yeah, again, the item is the Blaha collection. Then immediately I go into company card and Bin Binbos as her EX. Because realistically that was probably one of the fucking stupidest memes. But it works. And that's why her entire kit is around money, because like realistically speaking she's been fairly transparent about why she does VTubing. And she's very good at it, so she has very easily been a staple of Idol and has helped put them on the map, which is why I really want to include her. I'm actually really sad because it was at Kyoko or something. I'm blanking on the name off the top of my head. Is going to be graduating, which is like one of the only other VTubers I knew from Idol before like I really got involved and actually did some research. I think it's Kyoko, right? But yeah, that was kind of saddening to hear. Tyler 1 launched an AI with his voice to coach League of Legends players. Fuck, alright. No. Why is there a video of Marta stroking a bottle of ranch? Like, with her actual hands? Not her VTuber hands? I don't know. Oh, this is an interesting question. I'm checking something out. Developers, are you okay with people cheating in your single-player game for accessibility? I mean, that goes on to the discussion I had the other day. Right, where I talked about, like, accessibility stuff and all that. I think that's perfectly reasonable and fine, right? I don't see an issue with that. I think it's a fairly respectable thing. I mean, again, cheating in a single-player game is cheating in a single-player game. That's fine. I genuinely think you are completely entitled for that. Oh, someone's doing a giveaway for the $500 signature faker skin. See, now that's perfectly reasonable. I think that's going to probably be how most people get it. Is via that sort of stuff, or again, that 150 people that just go like, you know what, I'm gonna buy it. Wait. Okay, I want to talk on this. This is fucking hysterical. So I'm just looking at a list that was posted, and this is the short list of names for Balatro. And I just kind of want to talk about how, like, at the moment, the shortlisted names for this game is pretty fucking short, and the name's already changed, right? Like there is a thing that I've got somewhere for it. I just keep calling it United, and it's really not good for me to keep calling it that. But we've got Joker Poker, Rogue Hold'em, Rogue Poker, Trial of the Joker, Trial of the Fool, Foolish Poker, Hand of the Fool, Fool's Gambit, Fool's Gauntlet, Balatro, Balatron, Balatronic Hold'em, Fool's Hold'em, Hyperborean Hold'em, and Cartomancer's Hold'em. I fucking love it. It's so dumb. That's actually phenomenal. Oh, they're doing more Space Groove skins? Mixed feelings. Oh my god, yeah, also, has everyone seen the Deadpool and Wolverine popcorn bucket? That's so fucking funny. That shit peak comedy. So funny. The fucking video they have for it actually just broke me. So silly. Alright. So I think the XP should be working a little bit better now. Hey cat, come here. Got snot. Lovely. I'm not looking forward to today. I've got so much work I need to get done now that I'm thinking on it more. Alright. Well, I'm going to call it here for today. Just because we did fuck all in the terms of game dev. We talked more. Like, easily an hour and a half of this is just talk. I fucking love it. Okay? I stand by it. That's great. So, yeah, I'm going to take off now. Yeah. Hope everyone has a good weekend. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. You're awesome. Stay awesome. And I hope to see you again next time. Till then, bye-bye. I love how I have to manually mute the mic nowadays. It's great. You can listen to me while I'm gonna turn off the stream. It's great. You're awesome too. Thanks. But no, you're more awesome.